Well, good morning, everyone. Well, it's midday at my place, but it must be morning somewhere. So I'm starting this video running errands outside. Let's see what this day brings. Now it's like this. Yeah, today's a warmer day than the last couple of days, but still very overcast. Well, don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't feel too good, or I am not feeling too well. Well, it might have to do with that cold I caught. Let's see how the day progresses. Well, today I've ended up working till very late, and therefore I will skip the usual walking outside for a while. Also, I'm recovering from a cold, but I do not want to skip this session, especially as an exercise for me to get comfortable, or more comfortable, to talk to a camera. So I tried to, or I have tried to think about a topic I would like to talk. And what came to mind is probably something very simple or easy to decide, but for me it has been a bit difficult, mainly because I'm torn between taking something or not with me on the upcoming trip. So, and as you probably know it from the title, it is I'm talking about my precious camera, my Nikon D5100. Well, I hope you know I am not a professional photographer, but I have purchased this camera a couple of years ago. It must have been, almost 13 years. Yes, almost precisely 13 years ago, in 2011, wanting to have a nice professional camera taking great and amazing pictures, which it did, and it still does. However, with time, I have stopped using it very frequently, and have switched over to the phones, to the cell phones, because they became more powerful and delivered great image, and also because they were handy. It was easy to take it with me and take pictures. Well, now it came to a point where I started using it less and less, and 2 or 3 years ago, after a couple of weeks of holidays, I also realized that the lens, the movement, there must be something wrong with it. Again, I don't know exactly what it is. I just realized when I turn it on and put it in a certain position, the picture doesn't get triggered. like this happens now. It was only sometimes, and it still does that. I never know when it releases the trigger or not. So I guess it must, it has to do with the lens itself. Also, I never switched this original lens. It is 18 to 55 millimeter standard Nikon or Nikkor lens, which I purchased with the camera as a kit, and I once lost this cover. I bought a new one back. I also bought a new, more performant SD card, which I put in here. So I try to take care of this camera as much as possible. However, many times I realized it is too heavy to carry, and I left it at home, or it was just uncomfortable to have it at the party, making sure that it stays intact. What I'm so stressed about is actually this camera was not for my financial possibilities. It was not a cheap one. I think it was around $600 to $700 at that time, and I thought I'm gonna buy a camera for a lifetime, basically. Well, at least even if I don't use it for my entire life, I have the possibility that it still works in 30-40 years. But recently I discovered, because I've brought it to a professional shop to have the sensor cleaned, I've discovered that it's not such of a hot product anymore to have one of these DSLR cameras. They definitely looked very, very strange at me in terms and they were even commenting that it is an old camera, which for me, I don't perceive it as such, but then they were talking about full sensors and I don't know what else. I could see that there are also very expensive mirrorless cameras, which are a lot more compact. But anyways, I thought I should take it on this trip with me, but as I said before, now I'm kind of torn in if I should take it or not. So here we go. My main reason is I'm gonna have a trip where I would be able to take landscape photos, some animal photos. I don't want to say too much about the trip because I'm gonna probably go into more details in some other videos, but I was researching of maybe getting a different lens. I was thinking about getting a 35 millimeters fixed lens, which I've heard is a good one for this particular camera, but also about a teleobjective lens with up to 200 millimeters, of course, not milliliters, millimeters. And well, all of those are quite expensive, ranging between $100 and $300, which I would add to it. So the cleaning was $50, around $50. Now I would spend another couple of hundred only to fix it, and then I'm not sure if it's not too heavy to carry around. I do not have a particular camera bag. I will change location every day, and I do have to carry luggage as well. And given all those factors, I play with my thoughts here, or sorry about that. I'm thinking of not taking it with me. My initial plan was to take it one last time and use it extensively. Take this advantage that I have a nice camera, and then sell it or resell it as a used camera. To my shock is that what I could see so far on the different platforms online is that this camera usually sells without the lens at around $100 to $150, which, well, yes, I get it. It's an older camera, and it might not be worth $400 to $500 anymore, but I was quite shocked that it lost so much in value. And I don't know what to do with it right now. I really like the fact that it also had a display which you could open, and you could turn around, so you could hold it like this on the side, or you could actually film. I actually also tried to film a couple of times, but I think it has mono recording if I am not wrong, but it had a place where you could put a microphone. And I also realized the battery is still good. It comes also with this charger bit where you have to take the battery out, and I always had a hard time to transfer the images. Well, I have to take out a SD card. If I didn't have a computer or a laptop with an SD card reader, I had to figure out. And then one of the biggest thing I still find is archiving. Or having a method of archiving the images. I get lost between the images, and it takes a lot of time after you take a decision that this image or picture stays or not, in which folder to put, and having a backup was also always a big throw. I ended up buying an external hard drive, which I after a while forgot where it is, but I found it, and then I had a big scare because images, I keep saying images, pictures for more than 5 years at once were not visible, or they disappeared. When I plugged it into the computer, it showed me empty folders, but I could recover that. So yeah, I'm going off topic, but yeah, going back to this Nikon camera, which I really liked, but now not so much anymore after being influenced by everyone else. I try to find a good reason to keep it, maybe even a reason to take it on my trip. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I'm out of ideas on what I could do with this camera. I think I would be most happy if I could sell it for a reasonable price, as it is. Reasonable to me means like I would be happy to get half of what I've paid at this moment in time, because yes, it captured some wonderful moments over the last decade, and yes, I like the pictures, how they turned out. But yes, this is what I thought I want to talk about today, and I'm curious to hear opinions on this particular camera. Once again, here you can see a Nikon D5100 with 18 to 55 millimeter lens from Nikon. And this is how it looks from this side and from the top. Yes, I am not a professional, as I said before, and I have a very hard time learning everything about taking better picture. I try to pay attention when someone tells me. I watched a couple of YouTube videos of from specialists. I understood, I believe, what an aperture is. I understood the ISO and the millimeters, but for me, for someone who is not a professional, I try to keep it on what the things are suggesting here, and many times on auto. When I think I'm taking a portrait, I switch it to the portrait thing, and other times to landscape. So this is pretty much what I did. I know that there are loads of people who know a lot of things about digital photography. Many times I've ended up, especially when I went to a store with a professional, photograph store where they take pictures of one. Whenever I ask how and why do they manage such good pictures, they were not very keen on answering. So I probably met the wrong people, but this was my experience so far. Some people say, oh, it's all about the camera. Others, and I've seen that, it's about the human taking the pictures. So I've seen, for example, highly decorated, very famous photograph running around the streets of Hong Kong, taking pictures with a $10 camera, and they looked amazing. So yeah, I think it's a bit of both. Good. This was my intervention of tonight, intervening into the YouTube world and uploading my bits and bytes. Hope you're all having a nice day, or night, or morning. Till next time. Oh yes, one last thing I forgot. I don't know, do you guys always clean or keep a protection on the lens? I've seen people who are meticulously cleaning this all the time. I know I should keep it dust free, but does it make such a big difference? I don't know. Let me know.